Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are absolutely honored to have an absolute legend with us, Mr. Udo Kier. Udo, say hello to everybody.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
And we're talking about his new film, The Blazing World, which debuted back at Sundance. I've just seen it myself. Can you tell us a little bit about what you think when you see The Blazing World? How would you describe it to audiences?
Well, I can only describe first, I have to give an introduction. I got the script a long time ago, last year, and then I read it twice. And when I get a script, I only read first my role without knowing what the film is about, only what I'm doing from the beginning till the end. And I liked it. Then I read the whole thing and I understood who I am, I mean, who I'm supposed to be. And then I called Carlson and I said, let's meet. So she came here. I live in a library. I bought the library where we are now in Palm Springs. And she came here with the producer, and we spent the afternoon. First, of course, was always when you meet new people, you just watch every movement, how they drink, how they move. You watch everything, and so I liked it, what I saw, and then we talked about the movie, and I then say, okay, I'm going to do the movie because I didn't have to ask her the question, who is playing with me, because it was her playing with me.
Yeah.
And I understood very well that she made only the short film to show people to make the big film. I mean, the feature film. I think that's what she wanted to do, which she did. And she is an amazing. Then I said yes, I do the film. So I under total health health security, I went to Texas. I had nobody in the plane sitting near me, and I got there. I was tested, and then they put me. I was okay, and then they took me on a ride to a farm where everybody stayed. Everybody, even the technician. They were not allowed to go home on the weekend to their wife and children. We were totally blocked in a farm, a film story on its own. And um, food came 3 times a day. And we were making the movie there. And I was really, of course, watching her very much how she directed. And it's amazing, a delicate young woman not only wrote it, she directed, she acted in it, and talked to everybody. It's an amazing, amazing power she presented, and I'm sure she will continue making movies. And I did not, I met the other actors, but I was concentrating on her because I was basically her fantasy or her dream. And I liked the way when she showed me the set, the lighting, I liked the music, how what they told me what they're going to play. The music was, of course, not there when we worked. And I liked the whole thing. And after, I don't know, 2 weeks or less, I don't remember, I went back home and I saw the movie. I went. We stayed in contact. Still, we are in contact. And I went to the premiere to Texas, which was amazing because the premiere was in an open car cinema, and I was there watching the movie with over the head of the cars, and it was amazing. It was amazing. At the end, I went to the screen, and they didn't leave their cars, so they gave sound effects and light. So a light was blinking in front of me, and woo woo woo. So, and I said some words, and that's how I saw the film the first time. And we stayed friends. Carlson also visits me from time to time because she's in Los Angeles. To come to Palm Springs is a 2-hour drive. And yes, we are, I think she is amazing. I'm happy that the film is shown now in Sitges in Spain because I got the Life Achievement Award 3 years ago there. You know, now I'm coming in that age where people give me awards. Would have loved to give them 20 years ago, but now I have a whole a whole collection of awards. I had at the beginning I had them all in my bathroom because I knew my guests they had to go to the bathroom at one point, and they saw all the awards, and then they came out and I said, "I didn't know." I said, "What?" Yeah, I said, "Ah, forget it." So now I have too many, so they're standing somewhere. So uh, that was the film itself. It's I made before the film Swan Song, same situation, script. Director came here. We talked one afternoon. I went to do the movie, low budget, and I like you see for me, I all these years, I like I made big films, not but high budget like Armageddon, Blade, Ace Ventura, Pet Detective. But my heart is really in independent films because you be able to be more creative. You know, if I go to a big film and say to the director, I have an idea, they say, what? Do your script and do it. But if you are working with in an independent film, you become part of this creation. And it was the same thing with A Blazing World. I offered things and we did it together in a little match and all that. And it was a great role for me because I was the fantasy. I had no acting things. I just said, there's 3 keys, and each key you open a door, but maybe they're not as nice to you as I am. I. So as so it was a great experience, and I'm very happy, and I'm sure she will go uh, next movie and next movie. But it's amazing energy and very intelligent, and that's also important. Energy alone doesn't do it. You have to like movies. You have to have seen movies so you know what you shouldn't do and what you do, what other people did a little, you like, you should do more. So that's like that.
I love that answer. Thank you for that, Mr. Kier. That's a great story. Now, you've had a long and very illustrious career. You've done everything, like you mentioned earlier. If you could tell us, what are some moments for you that stick out in your career as like defining or moments that you enjoy more than anything? Like you said, you enjoy the independent cinema more, but what are some films that you've done that stick out to you in your long career?
Well, I was in an airplane from Rome to Munich, and there was a man sitting next to me. And American people always want to know what you do for a living. So he said, "What are you doing for a living?" And I was at the beginning of my career, so I took my 2 fingers to my back and I showed him a photograph under his face. And he said, "Interesting, give me your number." And he put out his American passport and wrote my number on the last page in his passport. And I thought, wow. And there was no other number, only mine. And I said, "What do you do? Who are you?" He said, "My name is Paul Morris. Yeah, I work for Andy Warhol. I'm a film director." And a couple of weeks later, I got a call in Germany. I was living in Germany at that time. I'm German. And then I got a call and he said, "Hey, it's Paul from New York. You remember the man from the plane? I'm doing a film in Rome, in Cinecittà, for Carlo Ponti, you know, the husband of Sophia Loren, Frankenstein in 3D, and I have a little role for you. And I said, wow, thank you so much. What do I play? He said, Frankenstein. So I thought he's crazy, but he wasn't crazy. I went to got a contract, went to Rome and do Frankenstein. And they're supposed to do two films together. First Frankenstein and then Dracula. But I'm not supposed to be Dracula. So the last day of shooting of Frankenstein, we shot it in 3 weeks, 3D for $300,000. Today you cannot even make a video for that. And then I went to the cantina and thought about Andy Warhol said, everybody is famous for 15 minutes. My 15 minutes were gone. So Paul Morrissey came in and said, well, I guess we have a German Dracula. And I said, who? He said, you. But you have to lose a couple of pounds in 1 week. I said, no problem. So I just ate salad leaves and water. And when the day of shooting came, I was in a wheelchair. And so that's how that was an important film. Because of Andy Warhol and Paul Morrissey, I moved from regular newspaper to Glamour. I was all of a sudden in Vogue, in Variety, everywhere, Glamour. And I liked it. And that was at the beginning of my career. And then I met a man, and then we go back to Blazing World. I met a man in Berlin, and he said, hello, my name is Gus van Sant. I have a little film here I did for $20,000. But my next film is going to be with Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix, and I have a role. I want that you play Hans. And I said, people at festival, they're very lonely. They always talk, but he wasn't talking. He got me, thanks to him, we're talking now. He got me to America, to Portland. I shot my own private Idaho. I came back for the premiere and I stayed with a girl, Anna, and I had already planned to go home. And she said, why don't you stay? I said, no. Okay, after a few glasses of wine, I say, not a bad idea. Got an apartment, got a German car, secondhand, and here we are talking. And then I got all the films, Ace Ventura, For Love or Money, all the films came. And yeah, that's how it started. But still, answering your question, there were most of the films I did at the beginning, also my own private Idaho, they were very independent, low-budget films, because Keanu Reeves and River Phoenix, they were not that famous as Keanu is today. And unfortunately, we know River died. But so that's how I meet people and I enjoy independent films. And, I'm happy that Blazing World is going to go to Sitges in the horror festival because I got a Life Achievement Award there. I told you 3 years ago. So that's why I like the movie and I like the role because it was a fantasy role. I didn't have acting scene. I was just a ghost and in beautiful light and beautiful little vignettes of even just lighting a match.
I really enjoyed your role. You could tell you were having a good time. You really could tell that you're having a good time. My own private Idaho, by the way, great film. I'm glad you mentioned it. It's fantastic. But like I said, it looked like you were having a great time. Is there anything that you want to leave the people with in regards to yourself or to the film The Blazing World before we head out of here?
Of course, anybody who sees me, I hope they never forget me.
I feel like that's a difficult thing.
It doesn't matter what role it is, but no, Blazing World. I'm sure, as we are stayed friends after the movie, she comes to visit me sometimes. I'm sure that she will continue making movies if she finds the right subject. And I, if it's you know, now at the moment, you see, because of the New York Times and everybody writes after 50 years, Udo Kier finally becomes a leading man with Swan Song. Now I have to look for leading roles. I cannot disappoint the press. I
No,
can't.
you cannot. No, and I got to tell you, Swan Song it shouldn't be a Swan Song for you. It should be the first in many lead roles for you, bud. And I really think that you're a
Well,
fantastic actor.
I made a film just quickly. I made a film which comes now called My Neighbor Adolf, shot in Colombia, Israeli film. And then I'm now on Hunters with Al Pacino. I shot over, I shot already 5 episodes. I have one more episode to go. I go next week to Prague, where we shoot the last episode. So I saw my swan song. No, I was I was making sure it is not that I get sitting at home and say, okay, okay.
I like that. I like that. Mr. Kier, thank you so much for lending us any part of your day. We really appreciate you. We enjoyed the movie, and I've had a great time listening to you tell stories. You're
Okay,
an you're a naturally born storyteller. Thank you so much. You have an amazing day, Mr. Kier.
you too. Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Greetings to Las Vegas.
Oh yes, Viva
Bye
Las Vegas.
bye.
Bye.